Adam, since you loved engaging so much in activities with your ex and it's the most fun you ever had, then I'm trying to figure out, what are you here for? Why didn't you just marry her?
Like it's delirium, ay, ay, like it's delirium, ay, I got delirium, ay, like it's delirium, yeah, yeah, like it's delirium. She just wanna bounce to it, baby, get your giddy on. Walk up to the stage with a drink like I'm Giveon, but I never came here to sing what I'm really on.
What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Taina B here, and welcome to my chat party. If you're here to join me for a little bit, a lot of it, fashionably early, fashionably late, to hear my little thoughts, my little views, my little opinions on Married at First Sight season 20, episode number 11. One of my favorite numbers, fighting for love, then I appreciate you so much from the bottom of my heart. To those of you, I got to peek a little bit this morning and really quickly to see that the guest party VIP list has gone up. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to y'all. And I know I have some comments, but when I promise you, I tell y'all I have not looked at a not there comment just yet, but I'll get to it because the day has been heavy. I think I might have shared that with you guys that I had a long weekend plan. It's been going good, but busy and still in between. I'm like, let me try to spit out this video to y'all because I got up really early this morning before I got my day started and watched the episode. And I knew I would just come back later on when I got a little pocket of time to record. So here I am. Here I go. Okay. Eyes are as spicy and on fire as ever because I'm so tired. But listen, it's for my peeps. All right. So y'all give me a little time to get back to those comments. If I don't get to them tonight, then I'll definitely work on those tomorrow. And I'm so excited to see what you guys have to say. But also, don't be shy about hopping on the dance floor, doing your two step, letting me know your thoughts and your views and your opinions in the comments you have about just the mess that we have all been in together, that we are watching, and what has really been going on. For those of you who hit the like button, mwah, thank you so much. And just for everybody for your viewership, like I appreciate you showing your girl some love. That is a real thing. Like I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I used to always watch YouTube videos and be like, oh, these people say like the same thing, but I guess they mean it. I guess it's a thing. Oh, it really is a thing because you can truly appreciate when someone's taking the time, to just kind of join you or see what you're doing. So definitely not overlooked, definitely much appreciated. I remember when a video had 7 views. Okay. So let's go. Let's get into it. So the producers, I said they knew they'd been stressing us out. So it was like, let's just give them a lighter episode because I feel like that's overall what this was giving us. Still good, but a little lighter. So starting off, y'all, it's gloomy music and 3 weeks until decision day. So of course, with the gloomy of it all, got to pick back up where we left off with Nikki and Sean. He's saying he doesn't think it's a wifely duty for her to please him because that became a point of contention. That word duty, was it duty or duty not, wifely duty or wifely duty not? And he just likes physical touch and is down whenever she's down. But that's the thing, Sean, we already know that, and you said this on more than one occasion. So the mood is lightened a bit because she receives what he says. He explained he still wants something to happen and doesn't want to just keep things at a platonic state. And he doesn't have expectations of them having intercourse before decision day, but he certainly doesn't want to reach decision day having not explored a bit more as husband and wife. And she's still a little confused, as am I, because she's like, "What's that supposed to look like?" He's like, "I don't know, I don't know." And in her side interview, she says he's equating marriage with physical and actual access to her. And it seems that way to me too, because it seems he's so pressed on it. I remember he ain't sweating her, girl. But that's definitely what it was giving Sean, right? And he says he's not thinking in his mind when she's finally ready to do something, or when is she finally ready to do something, and tells her she shouldn't think that way either. And if they're just vibing naturally and it goes down, she just knows now that he's ready. He's put it out there. Sean, and this is where I say I'm confused, or why I say I'm confused, because just earlier you were asking her in your bath towel, nonetheless, if she thinks she can please you more in other ways. So again, it was a topic of discussion. So when you talk about, oh, when is she finally ready to do something? Oh, it's been on your mind. You've been on go and on ready. So you act like you're telling her something new. I feel like you went all about a circle just to say the same thing but in a different way. um because it's like, you still have been pressed about it. So I don't know why you're making it seem like you're not when you really are. Like y'all, I don't know. Anyway, so um I feel like too also those conversations about him just getting actual in nature and all of that even started all the way back to the night of the honeymoon when they were making or he was making wild comments and hadn't even known her for 24 hours yet. Like doing the like already getting into it. And that was highly inappropriate because, like, dude, I just met you. Like, forget 24 hours, hadn't even known her for 12 hours. So I'm like, you've been on that type of time. It came up then, it came up on a honeymoon, came up when you got back from the honeymoon, came up earlier in the day as a part of this episode. Or if it wasn't the same day, at least it was the day before or within the same week. So, what are you really saying? And like I bring or brought up in my last video, that her straddling him and allowing him to rub her down and kiss all on her should be a big win for him right now. I'm like, that is progress. So, yikes. Now I'm taking back this moment to say how I can see that they're both confusing at times in conversation. We get more of a front seat to the mess, but we're going to move right along. So, Michelle and Cameron meet with Dr. Lisa. They're doting over how well the matchmakers did putting them together. And I'm sure a lot of us, if not all of us, can agree on that. Cam is expressing how he's just so into Michelle and can't remember the last time he felt that way. What Michelle loves about Cam is that he's very emotionally intelligent, and she hasn't had that before. And y'all, the way that I turned into mush and tears were welling up in my eyes when Cam then says, while getting emotional nonetheless, and I mean the tears coming down, that he never had a relationship where someone has said such nice things about him and it makes him feel really good as a man. Says having Michelle now in his life trajectory, or saying having Michelle now in his life. Well, I would say this all wrong, y'all. But pretty much his life trajectory has gone up ever since meeting Michelle. And I was like, oh, like, don't make me cry all over again, y'all. I tell you, I feel very deeply, whether it's anger deeply or tears deeply or sad deeply or happy deeply. I just do. I'm an empath in that way. So it takes nothing for me to cry along with somebody or my eyes get to welling up and everything like that. Especially when you know and you can feel and tell somebody is genuinely happy. And I'm so happy for both of them in this moment. And that makes her feel really good hearing him say that. Cam has never told a woman he loves her, so he's not sure how to tell the difference between like and love. But this is the most strong he's ever felt, and that's a huge deal in my opinion. So she's getting a little watery eyed, and they both agree that they're each other's person, and this is just awesome to see. I say that all the time, and I'm still going to ask: Are they my favorite couple? You betcha. But as soon as we get the up, we got to go right into the down, right? Cause Courtney and Nick. I don't care nothing. And when I say nothing, NOTHING, nothing about what this girl got going on. I'm going to keep saying it, y'all, because I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart, just in case y'all didn't know and y'all missed it, or in case we got any new viewers. But it doesn't matter. Apparently, that she set up candles for him to set a romantic mood when he gets home, because she's already sprinkling it with some negativity by saying if this weren't an exercise, she wouldn't do it because it's corny to her. They allegedly get deeper than they have been with their questions. He kisses her at the end. Again, a disaster. Nothing about that scene made me feel warm and fuzzy because I still know what she's working with internally as a person, and she's on demon time. Okay. And Nick, just be prepared for her to embarrass you yet again at any moment while in front of others or while alone. It's her pick and whatever she's feeling in that moment, but best believe it's going to be embarrassing in some way, shape, or form. And I'm like, can I just pick you up and help you pack your stuff? Like, just be ready by the door. If you need me to come in, I will help you. Like, how do we plan this great escape? I don't understand. But next, Tori and Felipe visit Felipe's apartment. I love his space when you first walk in. It's just very clean and such a simplistic look, and I'm all about that. They're talking about living arrangements and decision day. Apparently he's thinking about it way too much, he says, but is hoping she says yes. She says in her side interview she feels good about him and can see herself falling in love with him. I said okay, and that's all well and good. All right, if that's how you're feeling, all the feels, we love it for you. but just make sure you don't forget what that black friend said, okay? All right? Black friend, I heard you. Okay. I just hope your girl heard you and that it registers. So Bel Jolie takes Mecca to the studio to introduce him to her musical world while she records. Mecca's enjoying it. He's feeling like a proud husband. But when she comes out the booth, he's sharing that her mood seems much lighter in that moment, in that day before they got, well, not that day, but in that moment before they got there. And he shares in his side interview that they had their first fight. He says it could very well be bad, pretty bad. My antenna went up when he said that because I'm like, well, what happened for you to emphasize that it could all be very bad? Like, does that mean like y'all will really know how to go there when it comes time to argue? So, story goes long and short, apparently they had gone out together the night before. She ended up keeping him out longer. He ended up keeping her out longer than what she anticipated, more than what she wanted. I think they got in the house at like 4 in the morning. But I'm just like, so at any point, Belgily, I'm not sure because it wasn't said. Did you just let him know when you were ready to go, or you didn't let him know when you were ready to go? Because communication is key, right? Folks can't read minds. So after a while, I'd have been like, oh, we about to wrap this up soon, or how much longer do you think we'll be here? Maybe another hour or so. Or even if it's like, no, I'm chilling, I would be like, well, I'm a little tired. So can we leave soon? I don't mind staying another 30 minutes or so, but I'm ready to go home. Maybe we can try this again another night or something. Or you want to stay and you just want to walk me to an Uber or walk me to the car and I'll see you back at the house. Like, I'm not sure why that wasn't a thing and how this turned into an argument, but somehow it did. And he says too that he knows when he's in trouble and is used to it. But she ends up tapping into that more when he says that because she feels he's accustomed to feeling that way, and he agrees that he did grow up always in trouble, but she doesn't want him to walk away carrying that type of mindset or mentality, and says it's not true, that is far from how she looks at him. And he's finding more comfort in the way she's accepting all of him. And I like that for him. I do. Got to be honest. And I'm hoping he continues to try to lean into Bel Jolie like Dr. Paul has advised, because I'm sure it'll work out pretty nicely for him if he does. And I'm like, listen, Mecca, you already married to her anyway. So you might as well just go in on the full experience. What is the worst that can happen? That it just doesn't go the way that you wanted to. But easier said than done, right? Because I'm sure the fear is being hurt in some type of way. But sometimes you just can't think that way. You just really have to work with what you're given. And you're given some good gems, some good things, some good ingredients to work with, Mecca. So I think you should be working with that. You're in a very good position with who you've been placed with, and you just got to give it a go. I'm still a little irritated with Caitlyn, but we'll work through this scene, okay? Her and Devin are having a Harry Potter night, making some treats. I thought that was fun of him to do. That's my kind of vibe, stuff I like. And I'm not into Harry Potter, so maybe not Harry Potter themed stuff. And I said, ooh, some of y'all probably gonna get me from saying that. Please don't unsubscribe. It's just that I don't know about the Harry Potter world. Of course, I know who he is. I've heard, I know it was a big thing, as big as Stranger Things. Maybe Stranger Things was better. Probably shouldn't say that either, because that could be a serious topic like religion and politics for y'all to come to my head, but please don't come for my head. Okay, because I don't know about much of either one of them. I know, should have been watching Stranger Things. And I peeked in and out with my guys when they were watching it, but I just never got into it. I really need to start from the beginning, but I know it's a vibe, okay? I know. Anyways, he shares that his love language is showing up for people, and as Mario is playing in the background, he was like, I'm saying, I just want her to let me love her. You should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and protection. Make me your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be. All right. And I like how he gave us, though, the real, and said how on camera she's tapped in, but when the cameras are off, she is not. Mm. They're like two ships passing through. She doesn't say good morning to him, give him a hug or a kiss. He's hoping that the night that he's put together will help them move that along a little better, or move things along better for them. And they get into an exercise together. She says in her side interview that she thinks he's a great guy and all this stuff. So I'm thinking at this point, oh, now you're just saying that because the cameras are up. Because do you really mean it? And if that's the case, and you think he's a great guy, then why are you still not meeting him with a little more when the cameras are down? I said, "Oh shoot, y'all." This is when I had a quick epiphany. I said that apology that I'd been saving to give to Nikki and Sean that I thought I had to bust out, but then realized I could put it back in. I think I'm about to pull that out for Devin. I said, "Oh, I owe Devin an apology. So, Devin, I apologize. Oh, believe me, I do, because I knew I was wrong. And so I'm singing this song. Shout out to Anita Baker. I was like telling you guys a couple of videos ago, and I can't say I didn't mean it in that moment because I was working with what I was given, but it seemed to me like he was just doing too much and that he needed to slow down and cool his heels a little bit when it came to her. But I'm feeling like even at a bare minimum basic level, that's probably too much for her. And it's like, why? Because someone is showing interest in you and seeing how he just is moving. I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. He's probably not asking for so much, but she's just so willing not to do it and so not into him for whatever the reason that she's making it more than what it is. And so with all the effort that he's putting in, I'm like, he can't even get the little bit of what he's asking for Caitlyn. That's horrible. And that's not the way that it goes. And no one should be made to feel that way, right? So I said, she's a little faker then with what she's given us, or else she really feels, again, like I said, doing less than the bare minimum is just too much for her. So I wouldn't waste another iota on her either. I would keep it polite until decision day. And then I'd be like, yeah, it's a no for me. It's a no dog. It's a nah dog for me. So, anyways, Marissa and Adam, of course, he's in his element because they start the scene with him and Marissa jet skiing. He still got them socks on in the water. Sigh, as my son would say, sigh. So, anyhow, Courtney and Nick are waiting at the dock for them. They're about to play pickleball. Clearly, Adam's into it. As they begin to play, Marissa is not. Here goes Nick in his side interview assessing Adam and Marissa's relationship, talking about Marissa always does what Adam wants to do, and hopefully she'll learn to assert herself more. First of all, no, I didn't even think about it. How about you assert yourself more in your situation? Why are you trying to tell other people what to do? But I said, but then do you realize you need to be focusing all that assessing, well, what I just pretty much said, on you and the wacko cacko spawn of something unholy of a wife that you've been placed with? Because, Nick, you in danger, girl. So stop worrying about other people. And you in the worst of the worst right now. So stop worrying about other people and think about your exit plan to get out of the darkness and back into the light. That's what you do. The only thing I enjoyed out of their conversation with one another is Adam calling Portland the Walmart version of Seattle. I thought that was kind of funny. I said, that's a good one, Adam. Even though, I mean, I have no idea, never been to either place, but I just like that he said that. And they all start assessing the other couple's relationships. And again, I'm like, Nick and Courtney, easy. Okay. Slow down. And they split up. Adam and Nick go off to talk. Courtney and Marissa stay where they are. I don't care again about anything Courtney is talking about because she's full of the bull. Full of the bull. Nick is claiming they're doing better. Bye, Nick. Courtney tells Marissa her and Adam are her favorite couple. And I'm like, yeah, because you probably wish you had Adam for yourself. Like, it's not lost on us. And we have not forgotten the fact that you thought he was the hottest one in the group. So sure you do. And Marissa just says that she wants more from Adam and feels like it's going to be tough for them to get there in 3 weeks. I said, oh, now this stuff is starting to hit home, baby girl. Now you're starting to think, right? It ain't about partying and having fun and right now this is real life. This is your husband. There's more to it than that. Anyways, Devon and Caitlyn, they're with I believe it was just Devon's friends. uh, and I remember watching this scene earlier. I stopped taking notes because then it was at that point where I started trying to get ready for where I had to go. And the gist of it from what I was taking, he was there entertaining on the grill, cooking, doing his thing. And one of his friends, just as adorable as she can be. I feel like she was at the wedding too, curly hair. I think she was a Spanish girl, was just kind of peeping game and what's been going on. Like she's noticing that there's been a shift in her friend Devin, and that it seems like he's just the one doing so much and maybe not be getting a whole lot in return. I'm like, no, friend, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what it is. whatever your assessment is, the point is you're right. Your boy's not completely happy and this is a problem, you know? And so they have like their little chit chat, and she's just letting him know, like, listen, you got to be cared for too, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that, y'all. Like I said, I was moving around at that point, but I do remember just thinking in that moment, you know, Devin, you're spending so much time pouring into her cup. When you're pouring into someone's cup, remember it, you're pouring, so you're releasing what you have, which eventually when you give all you have, you're going to be left with nothing. Somebody or something is going to have to pour back into that cup to be refilled for what you then pour out of again. And she's not making any effort, any contributions whatsoever, right? That doesn't mean that you have to rely on people to pour into. You can rely on different things and different words of encouragement, or things you like to do, hobbies, or whatever makes you feel good. But in this case, we're talking about marriage. So the fact that she's not even trying, like she's giving little drip drops of whatever in his cup and thinking that's enough, that's a problem. That's a horrible thing, but she doesn't care. So that's the unfortunate part. But the point is, I'm with that friend. I said, Devin's friend, listen, get your boy and take him far away. Cause Caitlyn is already on a slippery slope for me. And to top it off, she's friend with Courtney too. Hmm. And they have similarities in how they function, and I don't mean that in a good way. So hopefully he'll have that friend to kind of stay in his ear and remind him of what he's deserving of, and he will have himself to remind himself of that. But moving along, we have Michelle and Cam who are chilling by the water, beautiful scenery, oh, just so relaxing, catching up. And I will just pull from that without and just kind of saving all the details, that she shares with him that she used to, I think she said she used to have dreams of being able to just kind of share this setting with her husband one day, or with someone that she cares about one day, and now she's finally there doing that. I said, girl, you manifested that. That is a real thing, as a lot of you know. And I said again, y'all aren't about to have me crying yet again through this, because just the way that she's actually pouring into him and just saying all these wonderful things, he's receiving it. And his cup is being full, and it's causing him to become an emotional person. And I'm just like, never would have guessed it, never would have seen it, never would have thunk it, never. But yep, here we are. Yes, yes, yes. Yep, yep, yep. Shout out to y'all. I'm here for every ounce of it. And again, cheers, DJ shout out, all of that, because Michelle and Cam are doing the damn thing. They really are. Again, I will say this is what the process should and is supposed to look like. Now, we know it doesn't always go that way, obviously, for people. And sometimes it's not always, the same pathway to get there, but it's still the same effort that you should be putting in, which is a good faith effort to make your situation work as best as you can with whomever you're put with. Just as long as, like I said, they're not abusing you or mistreating you or doing anything any type of way where it's something that is not salvageable and something that you really can't work through, then I feel like you might as well just go all in. Like, you took a chance, so just go with it and do your thing and make the most of it and do the best. Put your all into it. Duh. So now they're all getting ready for another group dinner, and I'm like, oh Lord, so soon. I'm not in the mood for this. I can't do this. But like I said, it was given light work considering what we've seen already in the prior episodes. But in the midst of them getting ready, Courtney has the audacity to say, if we could avoid drama at all cost, I'd love that. I said, okay, but you have been the drama. So what are you even talking about? And if that's the case, then try avoiding yourself, because it's you, girl. It's you. They start to arrive at dinner. Dr. Paul and Dr. Lisa are watching like the last time from behind the scenes and just kind of, studying them and taking a look at them and their situations and what's being said and what's going on and how they're presenting. And I said, you better come on, Michelle, with that dress. Was she not doing it in that dress? Because she certainly was. I loved it on her. Very nice dress. And then I said, not when Mecca and Bel Jolie arrived, Dr. Paul saying they always come showy, like showing off in a sense, because they walked in like superstars. But if that's just their aura, Dr. Paul, that's just their aura. If that's like they like to show up, that's how they like to show up. And he says, I won't say performative. I said, oh, please don't. We don't want to deal with that again. Let that be over and done with. He said, but it's giving performance. Okay, maybe not performative, but performance. And Dr. Lisa says, well, I'm obsessed with it. So she's here for every ounce of it. And everybody ends up taking their seats eventually. And Cam gets it all started because he asked about Nick and Courtney's progress. And the only thing I cared about that was said was when Dr. Lisa was behind the scenes sarcastically asking, I mean, Courtney, what did she say? I mean, we're all really happy, Court. Are you? And Dr. Paul says her body language screams, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here with him. And I'm like, I know y'all not just picking up on that, are y'all? Because she's been on that. Nikki claims her and Sean have unlocked a lot with one another. She feels a spark, he feels a spark. Dr. Paul gave them, according to Sean, the framework that's resuscitated their relationship. Claims he's realizing the emotional closeness will cause the physical to come. But are you for real with that? Do you really believe that, Sean? Because I don't want to hear about this in the next episode. Or, matter of fact, I don't want to hear about this all the way up until decision day. You should be done. You're done. You're done. Okay, so Sean claims he's just as surprised as everyone else with where they are. Felipe says he and Tori haven't had an argument and is curious to know what that's going to look like, to which Marissa ends up chiming in and sharing that her and Adam have finally had a bad day yesterday. And everybody's like cheering and excited about it, like, oh, not y'all, not the people who just be looking so good together. And blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So they're all surprised by it. And Marissa or Adam actually ends up telling the story of how they were playing pickleball and on the jet skis. He said he had a great time. However, she did not. Was real stressed out by it all. They played pickleball way too long, according to her, for some hours at that. I want to say like 3 hours. And who would want to do that, especially when it's something you're not enjoying? I don't want to do that for a long time. And it's her first time doing it with him, at least, or whatever. And so it's like, for lack of better words, throughout their conversation, it was giving to me. And she was just like, I got better things to do than spending all these hours on pickleball. And she feels like they don't have a lot of time left, right? And on top of that, their routine is out of whack. And she's curious as to how they they're supposed to combine their lifestyles together. So she's, in other words, really starting to get in her mind about the serious things. Like, they've had fun, and now she's like, listen, playtime is over. Like, we got to get for real, like Dr. Paul said in that group therapy session. And I say again, what a shift in the dynamic, because I thought this was going to be Adam coming with that type of talk in the beginning and not Marissa. But Dr. Paul says, for someone who's able to say the hard stuff to everyone else, but when it comes to looking at Adam, she can't say the hard stuff. That to him screams that they're missing an emotional connection. And again, we know that. So we're just, I guess this is now examples or more confirmation, but we've been known that. And that's been a problem from the beginning, because it's like, yes, you want to have fun and all of that. That is wonderful. I'm so glad that they have that part down packed. But you still have to have the substance there. You still have to have your serious moments, because life is not all about fun and games all the time. You got to get some things figured out. And this is a whole new person that you have to learn, in a whole new world that you're about to share together. And you need to know what that's going to be looking like. And you have no idea, because y'all been so busy on jet skis, thanks to Adam. So Adam wants them to be able to find a sport that they both love and have a desire to play. And again, at this point, Marissa's like, look, I ain't interested in the whole 3 hours of pickleball and stuff like that. So Felipe is like, well, what do you want to do, Marissa? What do you want to do? And she's like, how about going a dinner date? Which apparently they haven't done since Cancun. And I said, that's wild work. That is why. What do you mean since Cancun? Wow. Now I didn't know it was that bad of their lack of connecting in other ways and getting deeper in other ways. I'm like, you haven't even taken her out to dinner? Or she hasn't even taken you out to dinner, but I'm really saying you haven't even taken her out to dinner. You haven't even taken the lead to do that. And she said they haven't seen her friends or done her side of things. She says now it's time for her to have her say in stuff. Surprised we're at this so soon, because just remember, what, 2 episodes back maybe, when they were kind of sitting down at the table, when he had made her that toast, that grilled cheese and tomato soup, and they were talking, and he was like, yeah, you always just go with the flow of what I do. And she's like, yeah, I'm just watching, letting you do your thing. That can go two ways, right? That could have been the problem right there, because maybe you knew in that moment that you weren't feeling as much and you probably should have nipped it in the bud. Like, why wait? Why wait for things to get progressively worse? Granted, I know it hasn't been so much time since that scene, but still, speak how you feel and be like, yeah, but now it's funny you say that. I'm ready to kind of start doing some things I want to do. Like, take the lead in the conversation on that. You have to advocate for yourself and how you're feeling. He's not going to know that. Yeah, in some regards, you wish that there are things you didn't have to say and it should be obvious, but it's not so much to people all the time. And so there's that leg of things, but it's also the fact too that, she also could have in that moment just really still been studying him like she said. Maybe that was a fair statement. Maybe she was just like, you know what, I see this and I'm working with him, but I'm watching him, I'm taking notes, I'm seeing how she moves. And now it's finally come to a head like, yeah, based off of the notes I've been taking, this ain't gonna work. I'm not feeling this. So it's just crazy that they haven't done those things. And Cam asks, why do you have to have the same hobby? So he's asking Adam this. And Dr. Lisa is like, that's a great question, Cam. And so am I. This ninja Adam proceeds to say one of his girlfriends had the same hobbies as him and it was some of the most fun he ever had. And after having that, he can't do without it. So then what are you here for? Let me bring it closer. I almost want to eat this. What are you here for? And where'd she go? Where's she at? Why you ain't continuing a relationship with her? Why didn't you wife that up? Why didn't you put a ring on that? And surely that couldn't have been that one who you let out of the blue, knowing the beginning that you was getting married and just completely disconnected, and that was that. It couldn't have been her, I'm assuming. Because I think you said y'all were kind of not off and on, but your relationship wasn't as serious. So I'm just like, again, then what is the point of this all, Adam? And then how did you let that one get away? So just a mess. But y'all already know in this moment, after that was said, it was Cam's face for me. Give me 10 out of 10 with the shock and the drop jaw. Cam was like, what is going on here? So some stuff just got real, y'all. It got real. It got real for Marissa. And I'm like, what you gonna do, girl? What you gonna do? But anyways, y'all, the music is on. The dance floor is lit. Don't be no prude and hold up the wall. Hop on the floor, do your two step, your spin, your twist, your whatever. Let me know what you think. How do you feel about Marissa getting serious once and for all or finally? And do you think she had been kind of working that up in her mind all along and she was just waiting for the perfect opportunity, or what? Are you surprised? Like, I'm surprised that the roles are switched, that she's the more serious one and he's not. Whereas when he started off, remember, I was like, oh, even just at wedding day, this is going to be bad for her. And he ended up being like the fun guy and just wanting to do everything that's not serious. Just craziness. Um, yeah, just let me know your thoughts, y'all. I don't want to keep asking you and plummeting you with a bunch of questions. I want to encourage y'all, right? For those of you who are shy to get on the dance floor, I encourage you. Take a step, honey. Go on, do it. Let me know something. Tell me something that's on your mind, okay? Again, can't nobody see you no way, so don't be shy about it, y'all. But anyways, I hope this video found you in good spirits. And if not, I hope I did or said a little something to put a smile on your face. And I hope that you're having a most amazing day. I'm sending you all social hugs from the bottom of my heart as well. And y'all know I will be back to do this one more again until the next set of episodes drop on Thursday. I definitely know I won't be able to watch tonight and record. I will try to tomorrow, but if not, definitely at some point before the next sets drop. Okay. But until then, until we meet again, y'all met again. So y'all, I'm tired. And I know I've been tired throughout this whole video. I hope this video will even make sense. But I digress. Until we meet again, y'all know what to do. Y'all stay up, y'all stay blessed, and I'm out. Peace.